Go to our 8:30 High Beam with Frank Polen of Buckeye Career Center. Frank, good morning. Hopefully you're warm and safe and dry and all that stuff.
Well, good morning, Brad. I did not venture down to see you this morning. Just going to kind of stay here in the friendly confines of the Polen home today. I know you had a battle getting in, and I applaud and certainly celebrate everyone who has to be there. So, today, obviously, our schools in our local area and across state and nation are closed because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it kind of made me think. And a couple of years ago, we went back-to-back trips down there, and we went to the Parsonage home, and we went to Dexter Avenue Church, and you just see so many celebrations of what Dr. Martin Luther King represented and brought. And then we went to the Birmingham, the Civil Rights Institute, Brad, to put into understanding of the struggles of today. And it kind of reminded me a day like today, things that we're going through with COVID, certainly not in comparison to what certain people went through in society, but as his quote was that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And boy, you can apply that every single day to what everyone's going through today. But that quote in particular always kind of comes around on days when you think, things are tough. You can always go back and find a little bit tougher. And I know you had a tough sled today getting in there, Brad. I know you did.
Well,
but
I put on a couple of long songs to go try to build a snowman, so it's not all that bad, right?
Can understand that. But yeah, we're happy to be able to call in today with but as a school administrators, they didn't have to get out and drive the roads at 4:30 this morning because they already knew this day was going to be off. So they're probably thankful for that as well.
I'm sure they are. And so we thank them for doing that when it's not a holiday. So at Buckeye, obviously, you planned the day off. We know, and we won't spend a lot of time talking about it, but we know we're fighting the latest COVID strand right now. So that has to be a little bit challenging for everybody involved at the school.
Yeah, we just try to follow the guidance as the guidance comes, sometimes daily, and really just try to be, on top of things in terms of if you're not feeling well, stay home, check your symptoms. We're still doing additional cleanings every time we get a chance. We're still spraying, we're still wiping down, and there's just so many different, and obviously I'm not a health professional, and probably people are thankful that I'm not, but there's just so many variants, and you put that along with this is obviously a cold and flu season, but I think our local schools are doing a tremendous job trying to keep everyone as safe as possible, number one, and number two, to deliver the quality of education to hopefully get back to somewhat of a normal year, because when you stop and think about it, Brad, that was March of 2020.
Yeah.
And some of these young kids with the years, which their skill sets are built so much, and we are at our level trying to produce a skilled workforce that's been impacted
for 2 years. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, you talk about people that are trying to form that. How about the board members? I know they're having a special month. We do want to recognize them in their month, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, every January is Board Member Appreciation Month, and all of our partner schools will do something. They honor them across the state, and here tomorrow night will be our board meeting, and we'll honor our Board Appreciation Month with some trinkets and different things. We always try to have our students produce something for them as a small token. And we're excited about doing that. But board members, a vital role in the school year, without a doubt.
Yes, no question. Speaking of the year, we flipped the calendar here since I've talked to you last to 2022, and kind of puts us in mind. We're in the second half of the school year, this week or next, and we start looking toward next school year. Is that something that's in the works right now at Buckeye?
No question about that, Brad. Each year we got to do one of two things. Number one, we have to re-recruit the current juniors to come back as seniors. So we've got to retain, every year half of our students. Then the second part of that is we've got to recruit a new half, all new incoming juniors. And I was looking at numbers just the other day that we track everything. Before shutdown in March of 2020. So we had already started our application process.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I think we had 300 would have been incoming students at that time in the application process. Same time frame this year, we're up 63. So we have 363 new applicants looking to enroll next year. And then we have to, like we say, retain those we had to continue to meet these workforce needs. So we're really happy where we're at on that, but we track that. We track that by program. We track that by partner school. So we're always looking at that. But now is certainly the time, because some of our in-demand, high-demand fields certainly fill up fast. So now is certainly the time, and that application is online. You can access that online to get that for your high school junior or a senior that says, you know what, I'd like to come for a single year. That's certainly something we can do on the high school side as well.
Very good. Yeah, what about adult ed? Because, maybe you have a career, but we're looking around. There are so many job openings. There might be something that you think, like, I think I'd like to do that, and it pays more. So can you get into some classes and maybe even, I don't know, get a scholarship?
Absolutely. So you think about that, you think of upskill, reskill, new skill. So a lot of opportunities. We we're upside down, as we've talked a couple different times, with retirements and replacements. So maybe I've retired from a job, and now there's part-time work availability. I just need a little twinkle on a little twist on a new skill. Maybe I just come in, I take a part-time class. But now's the time for full-time enrollment. We'll be going out to all of our partner schools and talk to all graduating seniors about our post-secondary options. We have 9 full-time programs. Now, here's the neat thing, Brad. One thing that I want to stress, each of our partner schools, one student from each of our partner schools will have the opportunity for a tuition-free, there's tuition and there's fees, but you get a tuition-free scholarship to one of our full-time programs. So if I'm sitting at Dover and I'm a kid that's saying, okay, I'd like to come maybe get my CDL run heavy equipment, you apply for that scholarship, you may be chosen, and that takes care of, in essence, half your cost.
Wow.
And you're done in 9 months.
Yeah.
So, and then you're done with 9 months with skills. You're done with 9 months in a program like that with a CDL. In addition to that, there's really, if they go to our website, there's a lot of other scholarships available. We have a Friends of Adult Education scholarship that also will fund that. Ohio Means Jobs is a huge partner in this. But any other homeschool, partner school scholarship. So let's say I want a Indian Valley Foundation scholarship, and as long as Indian Valley Foundation says yes, you can use that to attend Buckeye Career Center, Adult Education, and Medical Assisting. You can apply those dollars. So really cost-effective, quick way to get yourself into a career, because like I said, with the exception of cosmetology on that end, they're all 9 months. They're just a regular school year, and then you're certified or licensed at the end of those. Yeah,
that's very good. Very good. Hey, we do have some good news, bad news. The good news is I heard you guys took away the apron and the spatula from Bob Alsop for the pancakes. But the bad news is, in essence, the pancake day has been postponed. So tell us what's going on with some changes here.
Yeah, we are going to postpone. That was supposed to be the 20th, was going to be our pancakes with Parents' Day. And then we were going to have the pancakes, and they can come in, and as current students can show them their lab. Right now, we're going to postpone that just because of bringing maybe another 200 or 300 people in the building right now, going back to what we talked about earlier, just being smart in that regard. We look forward to doing that later. We're also going to postpone our director for a day right now, because the big thing is we want to be able to have and make sure we can have our career carnival. Now, our career carnival is when all the 8th graders from our partner schools come in and have the day at Buckeye Career Center and start to early explore what may be of interest. Because when we look back, we had to cancel that the last couple years, and so this will be the first time we're getting back into that. And that's just one of the very first looks for students to say, hey, this is something I may be interested in. Mr. Alsop always says, Ryan Day probably knows who the best quarterback is, whether they be a freshman or maybe even an 8th grader in the state of Ohio. He doesn't wait till they're a senior, right, to try to say, hey, I think you should come here. So this is an opportunity for students to come, for us to get to show them, to highlight them with students in the building. You know, when I say running a plasma cutter, some people may say have no idea. Well, if you've ever had a sibling or wife or whatever buy one of those metal signs, metal decor and things along that lines, generally those are made on a plasma cutter. We run that through our manufacturing. Well, it's got a computer component to it, so you can design it with your CAD software. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, that's something I'm pretty interested in doing. But until you actually lay your eyes on it and maybe see students doing those types of things, it just increases your understanding. So we don't want to do anything that's not going to allow us to have that day for obvious reasons.
Right.
So that's why we're going to postpone a couple things.
All right. But the schedule is posted on your website.
That's absolutely correct.
Frank, don't do too much sliding around in the snow today unless, you're making a snow angel or something, okay?
Well, I'm a little bit like you. I'm about ready to bundle up 3 or 4 layers, maybe go out and see what we can do as far as moving some snow here. But if we get blown away too much, Brad, I might just have to come back in for a little hot chocolate. How about you?
That's a plan. Thank you, Frank. That's a good plan. Hey, thanks for being with us this morning, all right?
Brad, always a pleasure.
Certainly is. I'll see you down the road in the gym somewhere, I'm sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again. That's Frank Polen from Buckeye Career Center as we catch up on what's happening on the campus here on Big Hits WBTC on our 830 High Beam.